Hi everybody, welcome back to Sprueverse, my scale model universe. People of Earth, welcome to part 10 of Build the 1350 refit from Polar Lights, the big mama. And this will be a sort of the final part of the great Lou Del Meso's stay here at Sprueverse. And it was absolutely an awesome week, and that went way too fast. So here in part 10, we're going to go through the strong back. It's a 3-part process, so we go from dark to light, and you'll see the complete the complete sort of in the weeds how to on that. So I think it's very important stuff. Great for all of you out there who want a refresher on how to do this if you're sort of just about to dive into paint, or obviously if you're about to build it, it's well worth having as a sort of supplemental piece for you to sort of refer to if you need, like me, a little bit of sort of reminding of the process, because it can be a little confusing, but once you get into it, you're absolutely fine. And if you follow the directions, you'll be even better off. So there you go, part 10, enjoy. So when you move on to your second section of the 3 sections, so we have saucer, we have secondary hull with pylons and neck, and then we have our nacelles. Those are my 3 structural pieces that I keep talking about. You have choices. One of the choices is you can go with decals for the strong backs. You certainly can. But Lou's masking set does give you the option to actually paint this on. And I have to tell you, while it takes extra effort and extra time to do this, it is well worth it. And I'll tell you why. There are a million reasons. One is you do not have to risk getting any kind of silvering or breakage from those decals. And second of all, I just think from visual appearance, there's something pretty dramatic about having this all painted. So that's what I'm attempting to do here. Now, certainly there are decals we're using for some of the detail work around the ship, absolutely, in the registry and some other things. But if Lou has that option in his masking set, let's try and use it, okay? So we're doing the strong back. I've painted one side so that you can see it. This is the first color, the darkest color blue that we're using, okay? Now, for me, my choice was, let me get this, there you go. I'm using the 71109 Faded PRU Blue. That is my choice for the basic color, okay, the first color. And then what we do is we get lighter from there. So we've done the turbo lift plate on this side. You can see it. Get my fat fingers out of the way. You can see it. We've done that, and we've done the strong back on what I'm calling the right side of the ship from the butt. Right. So I'm in the back and I'm looking forward. I've done the right side, but I wanted you to see that's after, and then take a look at before. And so what we've done, and full disclosure here, the great Lou Del Meso has taped this off for me, and so I am now just laying down my base color, and we're going to build up from there, and you're going to start to see this really come together, and I think the results are going to be pretty awesome. So let's plow on. I feel like I'm in a library.
Well, at least you didn't say temple.
Ooh, we're watching you put the template on. I didn't see you working. Teacher not teaching. Teacher just working.
What's that line, that Robert Duvall line from Armageddon?
Yeah.
I can teach or I can do it. It would make your choice.
Yeah.
I got time to teach or I got time to do it. Which would you rather?
Yeah. Very good. Very exciting. I'm sneaking in here. Back on the strong back. And we're laying down the masks. And
We're putting down the tiny squares of the things we want to keep this darkest blue, and then we will be painting a lighter shade over top of it.
now, what I've noticed is you've cut out the decal, the actual decal, and you're using that for a reference.
Yes.
That's clever.
No sense reinventing the wheel. These people did their research.
So, once these masks are down, they're over the darkest color. And now we're just building lighter, the lighter, the lighter. And so as we get lighter, we're covering more.
There is yes, except for this panel right here,
Yeah.
where the detail is actually lighter. So I've pulled those out. So when we spray the next color, these little tiny boxes will be the lighter color.
Got it.
And some of this is dealer's choice. I am trying to stick to the decal as I can, but this is also, if you want to spell out something rude in Morse code, now's your chance.
Like, what would you recommend?
No, I won't be playing that game with you today. Thank you very much. You could do Klingon Go Home. The secret is, I got this many shapes to spend on just this side. Then we've got a whole nother bank of these shapes for the other side. So don't worry about running out.
Don't worry about running out. And obviously, this is well laid out in the instructions. Now, one of the things that I think is most satisfying about what I'm watching is, in some weird way, this is sort of one of the, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion obviously, one of the purest forms of our hobby, because it's all painted. We're not using the decals. And now I am not taking anything away from the decals. If you are a decal person, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's your model, as I always say, and you finish it and paint it the way you choose. I'm just simply commenting on the admiration I have for what happens when we really get into the weeds on the hobby and what it really takes to do this kit, which is why I groused and whined so much in part one.
So much.
So
very much.
Too much. Fortunately, you didn't comment about my whining and grousing.
I've come to expect it. I don't treat it. It's one of those things. Don't encourage him. It only makes him worse.
Yeah. But it is fun to watch you work.
Thank you.
Because.
And it's absolutely no pressure at all.
Well, we're fortunate enough here at the studio to be able to sort of really cover your working.
That's true. I mean, I am envious. I have camera envy of the elaborate setup you have here.
Well, I there's a story behind that, because while you're working, my wife used to do my editing for me until she realized that there was hours and hours of footage on every camera that had to be gone through in order to cut it together.
Uh-huh.
And she ultimately rebelled and quit.
Yes.
And my son, who helps me now, he doesn't have the time. He has a full-time job and does not have the time to do that either.
So you're saying you ran out of family?
I ran out of family. So it was either come up with a way to actually make a show and learn how to edit, and I need to learn how to edit, and I am trying to learn how to edit my own shows. So I'm fully independent, which I should be. I'm embarrassed that I'm not, but I'm not. But this system has allowed me to put a show together. Nothing is edited other than... Actually, that's not true. I tell a lie. To his credit, there's a lot edited. A lot of my... I love to go,
A lot of hims and haws.
Yes, and I oftentimes am not aware of what I'm doing. But when I suppose you have to sit and listen to me, it's like nails on a chalkboard to my son. So I try very hard to not, but he graciously removes all of those and cleans it up. And that's how my shows get to air. So this is a little inside baseball, but it is very intricate.
Going through, and I'm seeing what is missing, what isn't missing, and I think we're doing pretty good here. We'll pop this guy out. That was actually in the cut, and I think we've got. See, I've got there are no blocks on this side. I've got that piece handled. I've got those in there. I've got these handled. I've got that. 2 for 1, 2 there, 1 there. Oh, I'm missing about 1 in the center there. But
Now, is it worth taking a photo of that so you can mirror it on the other side?
I don't care if it's not symmetrical. To tell you
Awesome.
the truth,
Okay, that's good to know.
I mean, the panels, the large panels are symmetrical, and you'll want to match the decal on the other side.
Uh-huh.
But as for each individual tiny little, it doesn't bother me that they're not matched 1 for 1.
That's good to know.
Besides, you're doing that side anyway. I think this side is ready for the next color, so I'm gonna finish up what's on the neck here.
Okay.
We're gonna put these to the side.
But we're going to do both sides, right? So I need to do the...
Oh, you're gonna do your side before we paint, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and do this, and then I'm gonna walk away and let you do the other side.
turbo lift.
Yes, I'm doing the turbo lift neck. Right
Okay,
now.
and are they on the same the maskings?
Actually, right here is the chart for it,
Yeah,
and they're on a separate sheet.
they are.
They're in a different section here.
Okay.
They're with the. Let's find them. Here they are. They're with the rest of the neck. They're in order here.
Okay.
So you trust me with the safety scissors here, but I've already drawn blood with them once today. We want a sacrifice. A blood sacrifice. See, this is how I did it. I went like that, and went snip, and then right into my
Well,
that delicate webbing between my toes.
if there's anything positive that came out of that, it's my scissors are sharp.
They are very sharp. Okay, so I am going to put this elaborate. Let's start up top because I'm a coward.
Oh, I better take this out of my pocket. Big thank you to the great Steve Neal.
Would you like to talk about our visit today?
I would like to talk about our visit today. So, Lou and I, at 11 o'clock this morning, we stopped what we were doing here to go over to the great Steve Neal's workshop and meet him and his partner Mary. And if you don't know who Steve is, you need to check out his website, snggarage.com, and you'll get to know Steve and his amazing talents, and all of the films that he's worked on, he is an artist par excellence. And Lou was kind enough to drag me along this morning because
I didn't want to walk.
Because they didn't want to work, and they're friends, and they were exacting some transaction that I don't know if I want to talk about because it's private.
He has a thriving mask business, and I purchased one of his latest offerings, the Ray Harryhausen Cyclops mask.
And it is awesome. And while we were there, he was building a whole bunch of commission stuff, and on his bench I noticed these. Now, I can get close, I think, and come in here and show you these. And you can see here, I've got one end of the plug. Well, I'm having a little bit of difficulty with mine because the threads are stripped and it's rocking a little bit, and I'm really nervous about it. Now, we do have a solution if we can't fix it, but Steve was kind enough to give me a replacement pin set. So what I'm hoping to be able to do is replace my pin set with this pin set, because this is rock solid. This isn't going anywhere. This is really strong. So that was very kind of him. So big thank you to Steve. Now I'm noticing, sir, that this is fiddly. This is very tricky.
This ain't like dusted crops, boy.
No. Do you want to share with us how you got that horrific scar on your thumb?
This?
Yeah. Since we're right up close and we can see it.
Certainly. I was working at my day job with the state of North Carolina.
Yeah.
At the state fairgrounds. During the state fair, part of our job was to put up the smiling faces, posters of the smiling faces of the children who have just taken their prize animal to auction and what the amount they got for it. And I was in the midst of tearing down last year's sign, and I had to cut it from the board, and I had a big old honkin' mat knife, and I went, boom, and went straight through my thumb. And I immediately recognized what I had done.
You went through tendon too.
Said a few unkind words.
Yeah.
Ran to the men's room, quickly wrapped it with paper towel.
Yeah.
And taped it up, knowing that if I held it, it would be okay.
Yeah.
And this is all while there are milling crowds in the lobby of people, and the bathroom was crowded as I ran in to wash it off. So I went about my work. I finished it up. I put the new sign up. I did all that. And after the task had been completed, someone suggested that I should go to the Red Cross tent and have it looked at.
Yeah.
Well, I had it wrapped up. Bleeding had stopped. Everybody was happy. I go to the Red Cross tent. They take my bandage off that I had very carefully put on, and they said, "You should go see somebody about that."
Stitches.
No, you should see somebody about that. I said, that's what I thought I was doing, coming to you. I was fine. Until someone told me I needed to see the Red Cross tent. Red Cross tent says you need to see somebody.
Right.
Thanks, Chief. Thanks for that insight.
Yeah.
They had not only had it stopped bleeding and everything was fine, they basically opened it up again as they were looking and poking.
Yeah.
So I put my bandage back on, thanked them for their time, and went back to my business.
Got it.
But it was like,
But it looks to me like it should have had some stitches.
It probably should have.
But
it's like, thanks, but no thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
You were of absolutely no help.
Well, I'm sorry I brought it up, but I'm very nosy, and I see things like that. And,
it's
part of my DNA as a producer to
most of my mobility is still there. I could thumb my nose, which is all I really need it for. No, it was an interesting time because it grossed out many more people around me than it did me. But the startling revelation that I needed to see somebody about this was shocking to me.
If I were you, I'd see a doctor. Doesn't look very good.
It is a occupational hazard, and I treated it as such.
All right. Well, I'm glad I brought it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say I'm going to do the other side when he's finished with this side, and I don't mind telling you, I'm a little petrified because I'm watching him work on this mask, and it's a delicate operation. So we will get the other side on, and we'll get the second coat of paint on, the second shade of color on, and come back and then that has to dry, and then we've got one more after that, which makes the third and final color.
The third and lightest
and
color.
that creates the...
Now the good news is the second shade doesn't go on the neck at all. See, you skip, this is the second shade.
Okay.
You skip that, we're going to go to the lightest shade on the third on the neck. So this only gets the two.
And that completes the strong back. So that's a goodly amount of work. There we go. Look at this. Look at this.
Look, Ma, it's tiny. My God, it's delicious.
I've been threatened with physical violence over here if I don't come on camera and show you me doing this, because what I was told in no uncertain terms is that it's actually important to see a student doing this to show you that it can be done, and it can be done. And so I have the decal in front of me. It's a great map, and I've got my my strong back second color masks going down now, and I'm following the map, and I'm putting in now this little arrow and two blocks right now. So we thought it was important to come back and watch me do this so that we can prove that this can be done.
We want a proof of life to prove he actually did it.
Well, also because I think, when you're learning and you've never done anything this intricate before, it's important to show that these masks are friendly and they do work. And if you follow the instructions, you will be able to do this. Take your time and you will be able to do this. So
I like having that overhead view because you can check your symmetry with the other side at the same time.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, so I've got I've got a little square and a line. They're right here. I found them. Here's the square, and it belongs over here. Up about there. And it has a little line under it. Now, question for you.
Certainly.
These are incredibly small pieces. Is this the smallest you can cut a piece of vinyl?
Pretty darn close, yeah. The smallest thing I can cut reliably would be the tiny windows on the Voyager.
Okay.
For the 1000 scale Voyager.
Okay.
But these are darn close.
Right.
And I wouldn't want to try to do a sheet of them.
Because I know there's a few of us out there, including me, who, if you weren't sitting here, might panic and go straight to the decal. Might. I'm not saying we would. I'm saying I might. So thank you for holding my hand through this, because it is absolutely giving me the confidence to do this. But having said that, I don't want to suggest that anyone else can't do this. You can do this. I can do this. It's just when you have a camera on and a pro artist behind you, there is a little...
If you could do it under this kind of pressure.
There is a little bit of like freak out, but I'm okay. I'm okay.
Well, you can buy a steak, you can go to a restaurant, have a chef make your steak, or you can grill it yourself. Both will feed you.
Both will feed you,
But
this,
which do you get more accomplishment, a sense of accomplishment out of?
well, this is extraordinary. I have to say, this is absolutely extraordinary. It's just it's amazing to see, but it's also it gives you an incredible appreciation for what it takes to actually do one of these. Forgive me.
Okay, I believe you've proven your point. We can take the camera off.
Okay. Well, I haven't. This one's not sticking.
That's because you had it upside down.
That's because I had it upside down.
Buttered side up, you had it.
Yes. Okay. So there you go. He's allowing me to continue now. Okay. While the cat's away, the mice play. So everything is on. So you can see we're nice and symmetrical. And now I'm going to lay in my second lightest color. So that's what we're doing now. And I'm using my go-to here, which, if you're following my playbook, is I'm using the pale blue, which is the 71008. And then after I have got this down, I'm going to use that color again, but I'm going to add some of the 71279, the insignia white, just to sort of whiten that up, and that is the strong back completed. So here we are. The strong back, look at that, he's literally stepped in front of the camera.
Sorry.
He literally photobombed my show. Okay, so we now have the three colors on here: darkest, medium, and lightest, and all the strong back now is complete. So all we need to do now is just let this dry and get everything off and take a look. But I think it was important for you to see just exactly what is required here to get this to this point. Now, we've been going at this since this morning, so this is going to take you some time, but we have nothing but time, and it is pretty zen. So go ahead and make sure you please read Lou's instructions before you start. They're very self-explanatory, but they do help you organize your thoughts, and then just methodically go through it and you'll be fine. And a lot of it, especially this strong back, is about mirror image. So as long as you keep checking both sides and making sure that you've got that symmetry, you're going to be fine. So now we're going to let this dry, and then we'll show you what it looks like. Okay, mission accomplished. The strong back is completed, and it's a three-step process, really, so because you're going from darker to light. But as long as you take your time and make sure that you've got everything symmetrical, you're going to be fine. There's a little mask for your pylon lights, so that's good. And everything else is really sort of self-explanatory, but just keep checking to make sure that you've got your symmetry. So there you go. That is the strong back completed, and I'm going to end it here for this episode. Let me show you a little closer here so that you can see it. So that's what it looks like looking down on the model. You can see I've got my deflector dish in, and all the wiring is cleaned up. So now we're going to start working on the deflector dish, and then we'll start working our way back. So I think for process, I think we're doing pretty good, and it's all sort of coming together quite nicely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to sort of continue on with this process, and we'll come back I'm going to give myself a few days just to keep going. You don't need to see me masking every section, but I will be giving you some updates from time to time as we get closer to starting to work on decals, and we'll continue to look at progression. Okay, but that's really I think where I'm going to end it for the masking portion of this build. Everything else is the same, really. It's the same process, but I wanted to really give you an immersive kind of look into the progression of this. So when I see you again, hopefully I will have progressed even more. So that's it for this this update. Thank you for continuing to like and subscribe. It means an awful lot to me, and I do greatly appreciate each and every one of you and your comments. Thank you. If you are just tuning in, there are 8 other parts to this. Please go back and check them out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Spruverse on Instagram, my in the weeds photos on a daily basis. I'm always posting something. You can drop me a line, spruverse@gmail.com. I'm always happy to hear from each and every one of you. And as always, I wish all of you, please, be well, be safe, build something, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.